Namaste, I'm Shashi Gosai and welcome to the YouTube channel Simple Hinduism, which is dedicated to simplify the Hindu religion, culture, fast and feast. So now we continue our journey through the Bhagavad Gita and we're on to chapter 17. But first let's recap the message we got at chapter 16, which was that in order to prevent the actions by selfish desire, we should use the scriptures as a guide and make the right decisions. Arjun asks, what happens to those who do not follow the scriptures but worship according to their own beliefs? Some of us will not have access to scriptures or we may not be able to read them. So how can we use our judgment to make the right decisions when we don't have access to the scriptures? So chapter 17 is dedicated to those who do not have access to the scriptures but still would like to lead the right life through faith, charity, sacrifice, sincerity, honesty. Many people would like to have a path that gives them happiness in the material world and enables them to pursue the supreme goal of liberation. In the absence of scriptures, faith leads us to the right direction. It is faith, our conscience, that will tell us what is right and wrong. Sri Krishna then explains how this is attained, how we can make the right decisions. Whenever we perform actions, we get results. The repetition of actions and results leaves impressions on our brain, and these become habits, good or bad, and this leads to the nature of the person. Sri Krishna ji then tells us how the nature affects our faith. How we react to a situation depends on our nature. Sri Krishna ji then tells us how to find our nature, how to analyze our actions, how to find out the type of faith we have. Sri Krishna ji then describes this faith in three different stages, three different types, and they are the Sattvic, who worship deities like Lord Vishnu or Lord Shiva, the Rajasic, who worship the materialistic spirits, and the Tamasic, who worship ghosts and demons. Next, Krishna ji says, is the attitude which plays a part. It's the attitude with which we pray. So we might be all praying to the same God at the same time, but it is the way we do it, the attitude with which we do. For example, some people might be praying that they get a son, or their son passes exams, or some that they just want liberation. So we need to be aware to reveal our attitudes and motivations, why and how we pray. Sri Krishna ji first lists the actions we must not do. The first one is to be egoistic or arrogant, because this is attached to materialism and power. Or starvation, which is severe austerity that causes harm to our body. Nowhere in the scriptures does it say that we should be starving ourselves. Ishvara is resident within us, and if we harm ourselves, we harm Ishvara. Ishvara is the witness to all our thoughts and actions. Sri Krishna ji then divides our actions into four categories. Firstly, the types of food eaten. Then the sacrifice of time or action to help others. The austerity or forego some activities to conserve energy. Charity by giving up wealth to reduce our greed. Food. Krishna ji told us a long time ago that food affects our personality. He then divides food into three parts. The first one is that most of us, what we eat is rejected by the body. Some is used to build bones, muscles, skin, organs, and so on. Some goes to our brain, the emotional mind, the intellectual mind, the memory, and the senses. Sri Krishna ji first lists the types of food that are consumed by people whose faith is sattvic. So a sattvic faith, the sattvic food promotes long life, releases energy, improves our health and strength, helps in the healing process. The sattvic foods provides essential nutrition to the body, provides long-term benefits to the body, gives us happiness as we do not have guilt feeling after eating it. Sattvic food is juicy like a succulent fruit and fresh vegetables, nuts and grains with balanced fat and oil, digested easily. Krishnaji then describes food that is consumed by people whose faith is Rajasic. So Rajasic food has sharp flavors, is sour, salty, spicy, pungent, dry, high in sugars and oil. Sri Krishnaji says that these foods are unhealthy, addictive, and difficult to digest in large quantities. Krishnaji then describes food that is consumed by people whose faith is tamasic. So tamasic foods are stale foods, junk and processed food, food that is under or overcooked, odorless food, leftover food, food that has already been tasted by someone else, food that was cooked more than 3 hours ago. So after describing the different types of food, the qualities and the effect it has on us, he advised us to go for more sattvic foods. They affect our intellect, our mind, our senses, which become more calm if we take the right type of food. Secondly is worship. Sri Krishnaji lists the type of yajna or the worship that we perform, which will tell us our nature. Yajna is then further divided into 3 parts. The first one is the offering, for example, oil and butter. The flame, which represents the deity that consumes the offering. The result, that's praying for longer life or marriage or children or prosperity. So the attitude of a person who performs a yajna is also very important. And this again is divided into 3 types. The first one is a sattvic person whose sacrifice is driven by a sense of duty to a higher ideal, for example, the community or the country, without any selfish desire. The Rajasic person, the sacrifice is done to fulfill a desire, for example, on marriage or job promotion. The Tamasic person, the sacrifice is done without any offering or devotion. The worship is done grudgingly and without charity. Thirdly, Sri Krishnaji describes austerity or the penance or giving up something that will release the energy so that we can focus more on the right actions. And that is also divided into 3 parts. The first one is the austerity of the body, austerity of speech, austerity of the mind. So firstly, he describes the austerity of the body, which is a worship of God, bowing and respecting our elders and teachers by physically serving our nature, communities, and temples. This type of penance is done by purity of our thoughts, body, and our surroundings, upright posture for meditation with clear thinking, abstaining from lust or other distractions, non-violence against anyone. Secondly is the austerity of speech. Sri Krishnaji explains 4 categories that will not waste our energy, and that is words should be true, should be pleasant to hear, should not distress or annoy, should benefit the other person. Daily recitation of scriptures will tell us a meaning of how we should be living. It shows a practical guide to a spiritual path. Thirdly, it was the austerity of the mind. So, if it's a cheerful attitude towards all situations in life, kindness, feel compassionate to everyone, silence, time to contemplate, and self-control, stop self-thinking and negative thoughts, for example, violence, cruelty, or hate. By constant awareness, our mind will automatically harbor good intentions in all situations. For this, we need to do one of 3 things. Have faith in Ishvara, reduce our dependence on the perishable material world, treat the entire world as an illusion, and negate everything in it. If we give reality to the world, mental penance will not give us peace. Sri Krishnaji then goes on to describe the different types of penance, which are divided into 3 parts. Sattvic tapas is the highest possible goal, which is self-realization. It is not performed for any name, fame, or money. It has to be performed with devotion according to the scriptures by one who has integrated his mind with his intellect and can remain balanced in success and failure. Only such person is able to incorporate all aspects of penance, which is physical, mental, and speech. Mental penance is the hardest to conquer because you really have to train your mind. Secondly is the Rajasic tapas. Any penance done with any material goal, for example, boost your ego or money, has very temporary results. Thirdly is tamas tapas. This is penance done with the foolishness of harming oneself or others. Our scriptures are full of stories of penance done by demons to bring about a downfall of another. Today, it may refer to in business, for example, cheating or bringing down a competitor. Fourthly, charity. Charity is a sacred act and has to be done thoughtfully. Sri Krishnaji then describes the three types of charity. The first one is a sattvic charity, which is performed out of sense of duty, should be done voluntarily and with devotion, should not devote something expecting something in return. Sattvic charity has to be done at the right place at the right time. For example, an auspicious occasion like Vasant Panchami, or directed towards a worthy person or an institution. Just by tossing a coin in a beggar's bowl is not sattvic charity. Secondly is the Rajasic charity, which is giving charity while expecting something in return, to repay a favor or an obligation to someone else, and is done unwillingly. Thirdly is the Tamasic charity, which is without a proper time and place, or if we donate something to boost our ego, is done with disrespect to the recipient and is given to those who harm others. Any charity or gift should be given with politeness and humility. We are humans and can make mistakes. Sri Krishnaji says that we can purify our sattvic penance, thoughts, actions by uttering three pure words or mantras, which is called Om Tat Sat. Om Tat Sat is the threefold name of the Supreme Soul with which the universe was created. Lord Brahma created the universe through Brahmanas, who performed the sacrificial rituals with faith in the Vedas. They used Om Tat Sat to purify their sacrifices to remove any defects in the rituals. As mentioned during Karma Yoga, our actions can become a sacrifice if it's done with sattvic thoughts and actions. We too can purify our actions using Om Tat Sat. Before we begin any action, we need to align and connect our mind to Ishvara. We need to calm our mind. This is done by chanting Om prior to performing any sattvic actions. So what does Om Tat Sat mean? Om means the absolute. Chanting Om sets up vibrations in our system that clears our mind of selfish thoughts. The more frequently we begin actions with Om, the more we will bring sattva into our actions. By chanting Om before the start of any action helps us focus on action and weakens the attachment to the action. We have attachments at two levels, the act and the result. So for example, a footballer, he might love football because he loves football, the act of football. Another footballer loves football because he thinks of the money he's going to earn out of football, which is not sattvic. Karma Yoga is an act, is a method of reducing our desires so that our minds become purified for our spiritual journey. Tat means that in Sanskrit. It's the pointer to the Supreme Soul. We can reduce these two attachments by chanting the word Tat when performing any sattvic action and dedicate our actions and results to any deity that we favor. Sat means good in Sanskrit. By chanting Sat, we purify our emotions and feelings. It also means existence and it points to the absolute truth, the Brahma. Sri Krishnaji says that by chanting Om Tat Sat, we purify our actions and we'll get rid of all the errors and defects of the actions that we perform. So to recap, the ultimate purifying chant is Om Tat Sat. Om is used to focus our attention on the action. Tat is used to dedicate the actions and their reward to Ishvara. Sat is to mentally merge oneself into one reality, the one eternal essence, the absolute truth. Sri Krishna ji says we should have constant thoughts on Ishvara as a means of liberation. Thoughts become actions. Thoughts on Ishvara will make sure that your actions become sattvic. Sri Krishna ji then emphasizes the importance of Shraddha, of faith. Anything that's done without faith becomes asat, or fruitless. And you can see that in daily lives. Somebody who puts their heart and soul into something, as opposed to someone who's just doing it very mechanically, and you can see they're not going to even get the results for it. Sri Krishna ji says that any action, sacrifice, penance, charity that's done without faith, without our soul in it, becomes a worthless action. Forget about eternal liberation. They will not get the fruit here on this earth with this attitude. So to recap, Sri Krishna ji tells us about the three types of faith. The yajna or sacrifice, which represents our duty towards Ishvara. Dana or charity, which represents our duty towards our fellow human beings. Tapas or penance, which represents our duty towards ourselves. There are three types of devotees depending upon their nature: sattvic, rajasic or tamasic. And in order for us to become fit for liberation, we must cultivate sattvic faith. This will only happen by consuming sattvic food, performing sattvic sacrifices, charity and penance. And to ensure that our sattvic actions are free of errors and defects, we should perform the purifier Om Tat Sat while performing all actions. Well, that is the end of chapter 17. I hope you enjoyed listening to that little bit of Bhagavad Gita. I'll be bringing chapter 18 next. Please do subscribe to my YouTube channel, Simple Hinduism. Please do leave feedback and let me know of any other topics you would like me to cover. This is Shashi Gosai, Simple Hinduism. Thank you.